Dan Lawless, West Ham Fan TV. Once again here with Rob Pearson from PlayStation Access. We've done our preview now, which is a nice treat for me as a West Ham fan. I get to do a combined 11. I was saying to you before, when we do the previews like Arsenal Fan TV, 100% Chelsea, Redmen TV, it's almost pointless doing a combined 11.
Yeah.
But I think we're sort of...
Now you're going to have a combined 11 with quite a few West Ham players in it. So.
You know, it's funny. When I sort of had a little cheeky look, and I think you'd be surprised. I mean, you know, what I'm going to do is exclude long-term injured players like Wilshere, Yarmolenko, Lanzini, Winston Reid, and things like that, because they haven't really played much football this season. So any short-term injuries or suspensions will go for. Unfortunately, Zaha's not suspended for our game. Yeah, I mean, let's talk about goalkeepers and start off with goalkeepers. Are we playing like a 4-4-2? Do you think it's 4-4-2?
Yeah, let's go 4-4-2. Yeah. Keep it traditional.
Yeah.
I think, well, I guess it's between Guaita and Fabianski because Speroni's too old now. You see what he did against Liverpool at Anfield. I was gutted for him. Like, I love Speroni. Guaita's a solid keeper, but I don't know. How do you rate Fabianski?
Fabianski, in my opinion, and as a West Ham fan, I would say best keeper outside the top six.
Really?
I think he's probably made more saves than anyone else. He's been unlucky when we've conceded quite a few goals. He's so... You just feel so confident when he's in goal. He's not this sort of player like Adrian who will just run out and maybe punch the ball. He catches the ball nearly every time. And he just makes these unbelievable saves. And he's really saved our neck quite a few times. I think when we got him on Swansea, from Swansea that season before when Swansea went down, he had the most saves in the whole Premier League.
Nice.
He's got quite good stats. So I'd push for Fabianski.
I think we'd have to go Fabianski then, because the only one Palace have got that competes is Guaita, and he's too much of an unknown quantity still. He's still unproven. He's not played for us that long. He's definitely better than Wayne Hennessy, who bless Wayne Hennessy. He's liable to make some absolute howlers. So I think we're going to have to go Fabianski in goal.
Fabianski in goal. Okay, so let's go to the level, go from left to right, left back. I think this is where I feel you guys might edge it, actually.
I don't know. Van-Arnholt will definitely be our best shout for left back. Good pace, chips in with a few goals. He's up against Cresswell, isn't he? Yeah,
Cresswell, he's sort of coming back into form. He sort of spent quite a lot of time gone off the boil. Masuaku was our first choice, left back for a while, but he's defensive. Great going forward, but defensively, really suspect. Being unbiased, Van-Arnholt.
But we are in danger, I think, of having an all-Palace back four in this combined team, because Wamba-Saka has to be in the team because he is top quality. So unless you want to do a last-minute shout for Cresswell, I'd go Van-Arnholt left back.
Yeah.
Wamba-Saka has to be the right back. He's amazing.
Wamba-Saka's right back.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I go. I mean, we've got Fredericks. Spent a lot of the season injured. Just come back. He looked decent against Liverpool, but still unknown. Zaba.
His best days are behind him, aren't they? I mean, quality right back when he was playing for City.
I mean, he's still at the job that he's not the same player, but he has been just a rock for us. He's a leader. He does get done for pace. We do desperately need a new right back. So I'll go with that. Centre back's going to be interesting. Two centre backs.
It is going to be interesting because
I'm going to exclude Balbuena. Balbuena has been fantastic for us, but he's, I think, probably 4 weeks away from being fit.
Tompkins and Sacco, as I said in our preview videos, is the best centre back pairing we've had at Palace for a long time. He's an absolute monster back there. Like, he's liable to make some mistakes. Like, my heart is in my mouth whenever he has the ball when he's looking for a pass. Like, just get rid of it. Yeah. Sacco. Tompkins maybe a bit more assured.
Who out of Tompkins and
it's going to hurt you for me saying this, but I'm going to have to go Tompkins, I think, just for he's a bit more reliable than Sacco. Sacco is the one who'll put his body on the line. He'll throw himself in the way of a shot. But that's probably because he's out of position in the first place. Tompkins is a smart defender. He knows where he should be on the pitch. He's comfortable in possession. Like, he's good on the ball. So if I'm having to pick one, I'd probably go Tompkins.
So a West Ham Academy player in there. So we kind of still win. Yeah, I mean, all right. So we'll go to, I think next to him, I'd put Issa Diop, who has been unbelievable.
Okay.
Jose Mourinho called him a monster at the start of the season. He said whoever was responsible for signing him, well done. He's quick. He's great at putting him in last-ditch tackles in. And he's only 21 years old.
Yeah.
So yeah, Diop. So it's interesting actually. Now we've sort of got more Palace's players at the back. So it's, like I said, interesting.
So we've got Diop, Tompkins, Wan-Bissaka, Van-Arnholt, and Fabianski.
Yeah.
Midfield is where West Ham's going to take it, I think, because even as a Palace fan, I'm like, straight away, Declan Rice has got to be in there.
Yeah.
He impressed me so much when I've seen him this season.
Yeah.
Especially considering how young he is.
Yeah, like just turned 20. I mean, he's pretty much been starting every game, and just to have a player that's so calm and just confident, and the tackles that he puts in, people just can't get past him. And he was traditionally started off as a centre back, but played sort of for Ireland as defensive midfielder. Now Pellegrini's put him there, and we just can't believe the player that we've got. He signed his new contract, and we're buzzing. So yeah, I think. Yeah, Rice. Yeah, definitely Declan Rice. Who else have you guys got, do you think, in the midfield? Who's your strongest? So if we're having two midfielders and then two wingers...
And two strikers.
Two strikers, yeah.
Milivojevic is probably our best shout. Good, solid player. If you pressure him, he's liable to put a pass astray, but plays sort of further back, so he's often got a bit more time on his hands. So... If he's there with Declan Rice, you've got two sort of quite defensive-minded midfielders. But he is very good in a dead ball situation. Takes a good free kick. Takes a banging penalty. I think he's scored 15 out of 17 penalties. Milivojevic for me, I can't see MacArthur or Max Meyer. I think is technically a very gifted player, but he just doesn't get in out. If he can't get in the Palace team most of the time, then you can't put him in a combined Palace West Ham first 11. So Milivojevic would be my shout for that midfield spot from a Palace perspective. I don't know who else you got.
Well, I think we've got Mark Noble. We love Mark Noble to bits, but he's not quite the same. He turns up for London derbies. We know that. So, but sometimes can be a hit and miss. And he's not the flashy player. He does things that a lot of people don't notice. But I wouldn't put him in there. It's not Robert Snodgrass. Another, if you want someone a bit more attacking minded. He's really turned the corner this season, but I think last few games he's sort of gone off the ball where he's come out at the team. Samir Nasri, if you're thinking of someone more attacking minded, who
he's a bit of a risk though, Nasri, isn't he? He's been out for a while, hasn't he? And
I would fight for Nasri, but he hasn't played a full 90 for West Ham before he got injured. I mean, against Arsenal, he was crucial. He got the assist for Declan Rice and really links up well with the others, but there is an unknown quantity about him in terms of, week in, week out. So,
if we're going on current form and fitness, I mean, if you had Jack Wilshere playing and fit, then I think he'd be in there.
Yeah.
But if we're going on current form and fitness, I reckon I'd fight for Milivojevic alongside Declan Rice.
Yes, I mean, a centre midfielder is something a lot of West Ham fans know we need anyway, so I think I can concede on that. Left wing, I think.
Where does which wing does Anderson play on?
Left wing.
Left wing. Well, we can't. I mean,
So wait, which wing does Zaha play? Is he also? Can he play?
Well,
right?
We can play either. Traditionally, he'll be left wing, but Hodgson has played him up front, offside him, just off a main striker as well. But the two wingers have got to be Felipe Anderson and Zaha, right? Either we've got to somehow force them in.
That's got to be
Zaha is incredibly.
Can you imagine that?
Felipe Anderson. I mean, if you're doing like a best 11 outside the top 6, I'd say Zaha and Felipe Anderson would both be in there.
Yeah.
So one of them's going to get the left wing, one of them's going to get the right wing. I think they're both good enough players to play on either of those positions. So,
so wait a minute. I've just, it's just dawned on me. So say you put Anderson left wing, Zaha right wing, Townsend, because I saw when I mean, I was looking at your stats, and before I come, I thought, okay, so Townsend's probably going to get in somewhere, but so it's an interesting one.
You could have Townsend on the right wing, Anderson on the left wing, and then have Zaha playing in one of the top 2 positions.
Yeah.
But that depends on who else we've got up front. I mean, Palace don't have very many options in that area, so it's likely to be
we have options, but at the moment, not the best options. I mean, the one player I'd put in, despite how everyone feels, is Marko Arnautovic.
Yeah.
He has to be there.
He's quality. When he turns up, he can hurt anyone. But then Hernandez, he's like, I don't know how he's, again, from an outside perspective, I would love to have a player like Hernandez at Palace, because we need someone who knows what they're doing inside the 6-yard box, inside the penalty area. He
I
can
think there's
sniff
very
out a
few
goal.
that's better than him when that ball comes to his feet in the penalty area.
Isn't like every single one of his Premier League goals has been scored from inside the penalty area?
He's never scored outside. He nearly scored like the other week for us outside the box.
So he's got good technical ability as well, though, Hernandez, and he understands the game really well.
It's just you really have to play to his strengths, and you have to get the ball to his feet. And sometimes if the box is crowded, it works against him, and sometimes positioning. So it hasn't quite worked with the way we play a lot of the time, and especially when you play him as a lone striker. Zaha, have you ever put him up front before?
Yeah, towards the end of the last season, he played up front. It was him and Townsend. Like we had, we had Zaha and Townsend as our top 2 strikers, and towards the end of the season, it sort of worked. Like it hasn't worked as well this season. But Zaha, towards the back end of last season, he got like 7 goals in his last 9 games. He had a good, rich vein of form. So I think like a Zaha Arnautovic pairing up front could work well. Yeah. If you want to incorporate Townsend on the right wing and Anderson on the left.
That would be an absolutely dangerous attack.
Yeah.
I'm just imagining it.
Yeah.
Hopefully we can come and sign some of your players in the summer. Honestly, so interestingly, I think you've pipped it in players, which might irk a lot of West Ham fans, but that tells you everything you need to know how I feel about where we need to strengthen.
I mean, it is a case of, a lot of your players who are incredibly talented are either injured or just coming back from an injury or just coming back from a drugs ban.
All right, and then what about a manager? Which 2 managers would you say should we pick to manage these? Hodgson or Pellegrini?
I think it's probably going to have to be Pellegrini. Hodgson's he's a relic. He's a relic. He's an proper old school English manager, whereas Pellegrini has a bit more. I mean, he's won the Premier League. He's a Premier League winning manager. He's got West Ham playing. I mean, when you had a bit of a tough start to the season, but I've seen some West Ham against Liverpool. You should have won that game.
Yeah, linesman, eh?
It's mad. I couldn't believe it. I'd have to say Pellegrini.
So we've got Fabianski in goal, Van-Arnholt left back,
Tompkins and Diop in the middle.
Great
Wamba-Saka.
Wamba-Saka. Declan Rice.
Milivojevic.
Anderson.
Townsend. Zaha and Arnautovic.
Yeah. Pellegrini managing. Do you know what? I think that'd be a really, really good team.
That's a team that would break into the top 6, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Unfortunately, we've got the scraps each. So it's going to be interesting to see how each of those players do. Yeah. But I like that. I mean, let me know what you guys think. Your combined Palace and West Ham 11 are. It's going to be interesting seeing some of the Palace fans and some of the West Ham fans and the arguments. But I think this is probably the most amicable one that you'll see, rather than on Twitter. When you see on Twitter, it's been the most friendly.
Mute my notifications, I think.
Yeah, so brilliant. Well, look, I look forward to seeing how those players do individually on Saturday. Thank you so much for coming on again, Rob.
No worries, it's been a pleasure.
Brilliant to see you. And like I said, do check out PlayStation Access and go check out Rob at Rob _
Pearson 86.
86. Got the underscores in there.
I probably said the underscore wrong now.
Yeah.
So
type in Rob Pearson and he'll come up anyway. So brilliant. Yeah. So, we'll have a little chat after the game on Twitter or something, and either one of us is going to be happy or both of us will be just, if it's a draw. I wouldn't mind a point, but we do need to win if we're looking to break into that 7th point place, I think.
Yeah.
So do leave your comments below. Don't forget to subscribe. And one thing left to say, come on, you Irons.